painstaking job, and it's worth taking the time on it. Those little areas that I didn't have pastel, see how showing up now. A couple of lines and we'll call it a day. There we are. That's nice. And then I'm just going to put just a little bit more of this colour using the side of the pencil, just to weather it down a little bit, make it a little bit stronger. Not too much, just enough. And leave it at that. You could always, if you wanted to, put just a few little bits of more light in, just to. And the other thing you can do here is put a little bit of green in as well. I don't know if that's going to show up on the screen. And put a little bit of, not that green. There we are, that's better. A little bit of weathering on the roof itself. Now just here, you see how that doesn't stand out from the back. Now, this is what you've got to do. I'll show you a couple of things we can do there. We want to lighten it up, so what I'm going to do is use my eraser, clean the end a bit, and I'm just going to push it in. Can you see that? I hope you can. Just not rubbing it out, all I'm doing is just lightening it up slightly. Use an ordinary rubber on this if you want, but that works well. You see how it's lightened it up a little bit? Now, just to bring a little bit of extra weight down here. Oops, you can just see that. Just put a little bit of extra weight down here now. Remember I said I'd probably have to go back to do that, and there we are. Just grade it out so it doesn't show up as being a line, and there we have an edge to it. Brilliant. Now this section of the roof here is slightly darker than the one above and the ones alongside, because it's throwing a shadow in it. So what I've done is I've added a little bit of 182, a little bit more, and 187, and now using the 283. Now the same colours that I'm putting on here, but they're a little bit stronger. Okay. Now we can get over this by then treating it as though it's the same. So we can go over the just because we put the extra weight on there. We can look at this. I won't go all the way along. Just do this section here, and again with the 283, do it again, and then imagine that you're just doing the whole roof. The fact that you've got a little bit of extra weight there is just there we are. That's fine. Now, just to make it doubly sure we've got it right, we put in a 177. Now 177, we want to put it in a little bit more on that than I do on this. So I'm using the side of the pencil there, and then here a little bit more. Can you see the difference? Right, now to make it a little bit more obvious, we run along with the, I won't do the whole thing, it's impossible to, otherwise I'll be here all night with it. So you can see how that now works. Okay. And so on, and so on, and so on. I'll just speed this up a little bit. Good. Now, just on the edge here, because I want to lighten it up, I did the same trick that I did before. I just dab it with the eraser, and that just brings out just a little bit more off it, so you get more of a line. Okay, and I think what I want is just a little stronger line there, so I'm going to turn it round and just put a little bit of shading the other way. Be very, very careful there. That's good. Now this area just here, that's also in shadow, so I've got to put a little bit of shadow there. So I can bring that along and bring to either side of it. There we are. And then we go back the other way and just emphasise that. A little bit of light there again. And there we are, that's as good as we're going to get. Good. Time now to tackle the little window, the stained glass window. And give you an idea of the size of it, there's the pencil end. We start with the 103, and what we're going to do here is develop the mortar around the sides of the windows to start with. Now I wouldn't ordinarily have done all of that, surround, brickwork surround, but I wanted you to see this finished and how it relates to the rest of it. Now, it's very, very light at the moment, but that is exactly what we're looking for. Now we want to put, get it right, Colin, a little bit of grey in the window. This is the light grey to start with. And in there. And then we carefully put the window itself in. Now it's worth spending time on this because it does look terrific when you finished it. So it's always worth the extra bit of effort that's needed. And sharp pencils too, important. Okay. That's good. I've got to overshot that a little bit, you see that? It's so easily done. Now before we do any more to that, we want to close in on the window. So we go around the outside edge and build that brickwork up. See how it's beginning to form already? And on the outside edge there.